Thanks, Colin. Extremely happy and pleased with how we finished the regular season. I think we finished winning 6 straight road games. This is the 9th consecutive years our program has won 17 or more games. We're the only team in the Valley to finish in the top half of the league 9 consecutive years, and we're the only team on both the men and the women's side to win 10 or more Valley games 9 consecutive years. So extremely pleased with the performance of this young group. You know, I talked at our very first press conference, I talked a lot about patience and staying true to the process, and this team certainly did that. You know, early on, you get really excited when you beat an Iowa State and a K-State, and then you're somewhat disappointed in some games that you really felt you had a chance to win that you let slip away. Creighton being one of those. Southern being another one of those at their place. But when you stop and you really look at the overall picture, you know, I heard somebody say, you win and you learn. And we certainly learned a lot when you look at the progress of this young team throughout the course of the season. So extremely pleased and very satisfied with what this young team was able to do, led by Megan Maas, who I think had a Valley 12 double-doubles, I believe. Obviously, I thought we got great contributions as the season progressed off of our bench with Nicole Kroger, and Carly did a great job. Bree Gunnels had a season-high 8 points over the weekend. Taylor continues to give us tremendous minutes. And then you talk about what Michaela and Ellie both do defensively for this team. This young team really came along. So, again, extremely proud and very pleased with the consistency in which this program has been able to do what it has done. Illinois State, we just played them a couple weeks ago. They're very, very good. They're well coached. They have a great inside presence in Goods, who I believe has a great chance to win Newcomer of the Year, has put up great numbers. And then they have one of the best overall defensive players in Hannah Green. Not only can she defend and led the Valley in blocks, but she's a nightmare in terms of matching up with her ability to shoot the three, her athleticism in terms of being able to put it on the floor. She can post. And they have some really good shooters as well. So we know it was a dogfight here. I think anytime you play teams 3 times, you know each other extremely well. And in my opinion, it's going to come down to who executes the best, especially down the stretch. Are there any questions?
Is there any difference in how you're going to prepare for the tournament this year, either with how late the game is on Friday, or as opposed to the last couple of years, knowing who you play now as opposed to waiting for one of those first round games?
That's a good question. We will try to keep Friday as game-like in terms of what we do game day-wise as possible with our shoot-around, our pregame. Everything will be the same, just a little bit later. Any other questions?
Yeah, Coach, playing that 3-6 game, it's a long wait during the day to finally get to that game. What do you do to keep your team sharp and prepared for an 8:30 tip?
Well, like I said, we're going to do everything that we do for 7 o'clock tip. It's just going to be a little later. So we'll go about our day. We'll get up. We'll have breakfast. The 25th anniversary brunch is that morning. We will attend that. We'll do study table. We'll have our shoot around. It'll be a little bit later. And then we'll go to our pregame. And we'll go watch some of the games early on in the day and just make sure we get off of our feet, but try to keep it as normal as possible in terms of that 8:30 game.
With Drake having the year they did, they'd probably be the prohibitive favorite to win this. So coming in from that bottom side where you wouldn't see them till the finals, you like the way this bracket laid out for you?
Well, I do, but the thing about it is we all know it, you have to literally survive in advance. That is a true statement. And everybody's playing really good basketball right now, and I don't think you can really overlook anyone. It literally is a one-game series, and that will be our approach as we start practice tomorrow. We'll talk about nothing else but Illinois State, and that is the only team right now that's on our mind, and that's the way we have to look at it. We can't look ahead. We just have to stay focused focused on Illinois State. And whatever else happens after that, we'll be prepared for that as well.
And you're battling that old adage of beating the same team 3 times during the same season. Just your thoughts on trying to beat Illinois State for the 3rd time.
You know, like I said, it was a it was a grind here, and I know one thing for us, with having just played them a couple weeks ago, I know their personnel will be fresh in our kids' mind. I think that's an advantage. I think both teams will add and delete some stuff, both offensively and defensively, and I think both teams know each other well. It's really going to be a matter of who can get the nerves out early and who can execute down the stretch.
And you've won 9 of your last 11 games, so you've got to feel like you're playing your best basketball of the year?
I think we are. You look at what we've been able to do over the last 5 weeks. This team has just steadily progressed, and that's what you want this time of year. So I feel really good about how we're playing, especially on the offensive end. We've done a very good job as of late of eliminating empty possessions and valuing the basketball and being able to score inside out. And we're getting great contributions from a variety of people. So hopefully we can carry that into Friday.
And because it's Illinois State, that's who your opponent is. What are some specific keys because of the personnel and the things they do for that game on Friday?
Well, we have to be able to defend one-on-one because, like I said, they have one of the best post players in the league. And I'm pretty confident that she will be newcomer of the year. If she isn't, we need to re-vote because she's very, very talented. Not only can she score on the block, but she can put the ball on the floor from the high post. She's a nightmare. And then they have Hannah Green, who can post. She's 6'1", 6'2", and she can shoot the 3, very fluent. They have a really good freshman guard that can shoot the 3. So you got to be able to defend one-on-one and understand when you do help, where your help comes from. And then we have to make sure that we rotate not only to defend the 3, but we also have to be able to defend the drive and stay out of foul trouble.
It's a team deal, but who do you think on your team is deserving of some postseason individual?
Well, I think when you look at Megan Moss, it's a no-brainer. I mean, she leads the league in double-doubles with 12. I think Ellie Howe has had a good year, and what people don't understand is they're going to base everything on what she did a year ago. Well, I mean, she had off-season surgery and didn't start practice till December, and it still doesn't practice the entire week, but has done a really good job of allowing herself to get into the flow of the game and not forcing anything. And I think what Michaela Morgan has done defensively, and I know everyone gets caught up in steals and rebounds and all of those things, but when you look at the fact that we as a team are one of the best, top 2, if not the best, in terms of defensive field goal, 3-point field goal, and points allowed, and Michaela Morgan always guards our opponent's best perimeter defender, our offensive player, and 16 out of the 18 games we have held our opponent's best player under her average. There's something to be said about that. I don't think you should penalize our kids because we don't. Our system is not built on getting steals. Our system is built on being solid and forces team to play to their weaknesses. And I don't think kids should be penalized for that when we only look at steals and rebounds.